Live, this is One for the Record. I'm Diana, and today is November 9th, 2012. It is Saturday evening, and here are your updates for today. Wow, I just left the regular glasses on. Oh well, it's fine. Now I look all nerdy. Alrighty then, let's see. Let's move on to the E&E News. U.S. Canada has something on here. Newspaper. Giant sinkhole now over 7 acres. Cavern floor below still rising. New flyover footage. Scary pipeline explosion at Sinkhole could have taken out 2 square miles, says professor. Amazing it didn't break. Kinked on both sides. Going into Fukushima, Saturdays don't have a lot of information on it. Let's see here. Most of them take Saturday off. NHK. I'm really shocked. Growths on both young daughters' thyroids. I deeply regret making them stand outside for hours in high radiation. Alrighty then. I see terrible things half the time on here. Alright, let's go into, so we get to the extinction protocol 2012 and beyond. We'll go into that one. Alrighty then. Shallow 6.8 magnitude earthquake strikes central region of Myanmar. Heads up. Myanmar. Where is that? Also, Kentucky 4.3 magnitude earthquake. Also, Peru, rattled by 5.9 magnitude earthquake, the 8th tremor in a week. EU plagued by suicides as deeper austerity measures enacted and economic woes worsen. Thousands protest evictions. Thousands of people have taken to the streets of the Basque Spanish city of Baracaldo to condemn the suicide of an evictee as well as to protest against further foreclosures. The same story in Greece. In May, a 61-year-old Greek pensioner hung himself from a tree in a public park after succumbing to the pressure of crushing debt. Alrighty. Thousands converge in Australia for total solar eclipse November 13th through 14th. Oh, I'm sorry. Today is November 10th. I must have said November 9th. I am so sorry. Alright, moving on. I do this every day, so after a while all the days semi-blend together, I guess. Let's see here. We're still on. Oh, I look like I'm all worn out. Let's see here. Let's go into the watchers, watching the world. Yeah, today not looking good. Oh, no makeup, anything. It's alright. The high stress of everything. High Wire Bazaar, the Miracle Water Village. Drought-prone Indian village which became self-sufficient in water after facing acute water source shortage. Under leadership of Papatro Baigai Pawar, water conservation. Solar filament eruption sent Earth-directed CME. The November brings total solar eclipse and penumbral lunar eclipse. Okay, I read everything else. Alright. I think I'm going to attach a video by Miss Milky the Clown Channel 1. So I'm giving her credit right now for it. You take care. If I see anything else, I'll attach it to this. Let me make sure I upload this before it turns off. It doesn't give me enough time sometimes. See if we can get in there and find this. Let's see, here we are. Alrighty then. It is one day down of the weekend. You still got Sunday. Have a wonderful Sunday, and I'll see you again tomorrow on the flip side. Please be prepared for anything. Take care.
The Fukushima catastrophe is probably the worst nuclear disaster in human history. It's certainly worse than Chernobyl.
Cleaning up contamination from the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant is a bigger task than anyone expected.
That was bullshit.
The head of the firm that owns the plant laid out his new plan to get on top of the job. Tokyo Electric's president Naomi Hirose visited Environment Minister Hiroyuki Nagahama. He described his plan to increase the number of decontamination workers threefold to 300.
You're going to need a bigger boat.
We want to get advice from ministry officials, then dispatch experts on civil engineering and radioactivity. We want to do a good job.
The minister said he wants workers to be more proactive so they can make the region safe as soon as possible.
You know, the independent scientists say there's a problem, and the government and the nuclear scientists say there's no problem.
Debris from the tsunami that hit Japan last year is drifting across the Pacific. Japanese government officials say much of that debris could start washing ashore in North America next month. An estimated 1.5 million tons of wreckage is floating toward the United States and Canada. A few items have already turned up on the coastline. Scientists at Kyoto University are analyzing the debris' movements. They say 33,000 tons of material from wrecked houses may wash ashore in North America by June. They say fishing boats, buoys, and other items that catch the wind are drifting toward the Philippines and could be there by February. Officials at the Environment Ministry have given the predictions to officials in the United States and Canada.
The Japanese government are trucking radioactive material from the Fukushima disaster area where it's contaminated all over Japan. And even as far south as the south of Japan, we're now getting reports of radioactive material being taken all the way to the south of Japan to be burned. Now, what possible reason could there be for burning it as far away as that? I'll tell you the reason. It's really quite sinister and horrifying. The reason is this, that eventually when these children start to die from leukemia, from other cancers, from heart disease, from whatever, their parents are going to want to go into court. They're going to want to sue the Japanese government, and they're going to want to have to say, in order to do that, these children were contaminated, and that's why they've got high levels of cancer. But of course, the only way that they can say that they've got high levels of cancer is to have a control group in an area that's not contaminated. For example, the south of Japan. So I believe that the project to take this material and burn it all over Japan is to destroy all of Japan, is to increase the cancer rate in the whole of Japan so that there will be no control group to which you can compare these children in the Fukushima area. So that's that point. The contamination from Fukushima has gone as far south as Tokyo. So we can conclude without any doubt that that area up to 200 kilometers, maybe more, away from the catastrophe site, has been seriously contaminated with radionuclides. It's not as if this is something new. We know what's going to happen. We absolutely know what's going to happen. We have looked very closely at the health effects of people who were exposed to these same radionuclides after the Chernobyl accident in the same quantities. Not as many people, I have to say, which is why Fukushima is a worse disaster.
The International Atomic Energy Agency says it will resume talks in December with Iranian officials in Tehran for the first time in about 4 months. The IAEA made the announcement on Friday. The agency is demanding that Iran allow UN inspectors access to the country's military facility in the outskirts of Tehran to verify Iran's suspected nuclear weapons development program. Since January this year, the IAEA has had 6 meetings with Iran's government to discuss verification methods. Diplomatic sources say the agency's mission is likely to be led by its chief nuclear inspector, Deputy Director General Herman Nakartz. The IAEA is asking Iran to allow it multiple access to the facility, but the Iranians are insisting that on-site inspection will be allowed only once. It's unclear whether the upcoming talks can narrow the differences between the two sides.